Cowboys should consider trading Dak Prescott to either perhaps the Chargers or even most interestingly, perhaps to the New England Patriots. All right, this is the blogosphere, and someone's written an opinion piece. I don't think it's that far-fetched, though. I would rather trade Dak and acquire draft picks than overpay Dak Prescott.
I don't think it's absurd at all. I think it's a possibility, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's a possibility. When you have a player and his representation feel as though the number that they want goes above and beyond the number that the organization isn't willing to go to make this happen, then now it opens up grounds for a different conversation to take place. If you want to be in the conversation of being paid like the number one, number two, number three quarterbacks at your position, but the franchise isn't willing to do that, it creates an issue, right? So now we look at Zeke last year. Zeke had the ability to leverage being one of the best, if not the best running back in the league and get that contract based off of that premise. I don't see Dak Prescott having that same value and being able to try to basically hold the team hostage in terms of getting that deal done. If you go into the season with that feeling and that type of discord between the quarterback and the organization, knowing that this is what the player wants versus what the organization wants, I think it now becomes feasible to try to figure out if you can cut your losses, get a value, because there's still a tremendous value connected to a possible trade with Dak Prescott. And then you look to see if you can replace the value of your quarterback with someone else, draft or free agent.
Listen, I'm going to jump in right off LaVar and ask this question. And my memory's fuzzy right here in the moment. But would the Washington Redskins have been better to trade Kirk Cousins than didn't he just walk after getting 2 franchise tags placed on him, and then he walked and they get nothing in return? That's my memory of it. And to me, I don't think you can argue that Dak Prescott has proven that he's any better than Kirk Cousins was in Washington.
But again, where is that leverage if you're Dak Prescott? If you're going for the largest contract in the history of the league at the position, where is your leverage? And I think that that's where the biggest discussion point here comes into play into why this is a debatable topic. If I'm looking at the current guys out there, you look at Cam Newton's out there, you look at Jameis Winston. All right, we go all on Jameis Winston for throwing all of these interceptions, but think about this. Jameis led the league in passing yards last year. He was the passing leader of the season last year. Those guys are motivated, they're willing and able, and they probably can be signed at a lower price tag. So I think when you look at the field of who could possibly come in and be a guy that you put in place if you were able to get a trade, you're talking about a mid-round guy and Dak Prescott. So even if you got a second-round pick with a fourth-round pick or a second-round pick in this draft, a second-round pick in next year's draft, and conditional deal, you still got a tremendous value on unloading Dak Prescott if you believe it is an unsignable deal. And I don't see the leverage in making him the highest paid player ever in the history of the game at this moment.
Man, that was great work, LaVar, and I'm really excited about the next segment. We're going to talk with a really all-time great Penn State Nittany Lion, someone who